Hi, welcome along to AFTV. Some breaking news on the transfer front, and we're keeping you updated with all of it that's happening here on AFTV. And that news is all about Declan Rice. A new bid has been submitted for Declan Rice to West Ham. Arsenal desperate to try and get this deal done as soon as possible, and they have made a new bid. Let me just give you some details. It was David Ornstein, again, he's really breaking a lot of exclusives this transfer window, who reported this news earlier on. He said that Arsenal, this is his tweet, he said, Arsenal have now made a second improved offer to West Ham for Declan Rice. It's £75 million plus £15 million in add-ons, which would bring it up to £90 million. That would be a club record proposal for the 24-year-old England midfielder. Expected to be turned down by West Ham, he put. But he said Arsenal are getting closer to an acceptable fee for their top target. There was then another tweet that came after that from Fabrizio Romano, who said that West Ham are expected to reject the second proposal from Arsenal for Declan Rice. 90 million total fee, 75 million plus 15 million in add-ons. West Ham believe that the 15 million in add-ons are difficult to achieve. The Hammers expect Manchester City to enter the race this week. Arsenal remain confident. That word Manchester City, every time an Arsenal fan hears that with regards to the Declan Rice deal, there is an element of fear that fills every Arsenal fan. It's like, get this deal done, get this deal done. I've also seen a lot of fans on Twitter in absolute meltdown. Just give them the 100 million. What are we doing? This is called negotiation. You don't just go in there. I mean, if you go in there and just say to West Ham, here's 100 million, they'll be like, well, actually, you can afford to pay 120 then. So then your negotiation starts to go in a different direction. And with a lot of these deals, this new thing, the add-ons, has really, really come into play. Now, add-ons can take many different forms. It could be that, after a certain amount of Champions League performances, it releases the rest of this money. After a certain amount of appearances in the Premier League, it releases a certain amount of money. It can be anything. And we won't know the full details to what those add-ons are, but Fabrizio Romano saying that these add-ons reportedly hard to achieve. Where have they got this news? You might be thinking, how have Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein been able to get this news? Maybe it could be a leak from West Ham themselves. Listen, they're trying to drive the price up as high as possible. Remember, David Moyes said famously a few months back that he thinks Declan Rice is worth 150 million. Absolute no chance of that. Then we heard David Sullivan saying, who's the owner of West Ham, could be around about 120 million. Arsenal obviously don't want to pay that. Still think that this could rise up to being around about the 100 million mark. But both David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano saying that, Arsenal still feel confident on this deal. And the reason why they feel confident on this deal is because the player himself wants to join Arsenal. That's always a big plus. The player himself wants to come to Arsenal, so that helps Arsenal a lot. So it's a developing one. Expect there to be more bids on it, but Arsenal are moving on this one. New bids put in place for 75 million plus add-ons. That brings it up to around about 90 million. That's not the only deal that Arsenal have been working on. They've been working on a deal for Romeo Lavia of Southampton, a real top prospect who can play in that defensive midfield position. I've spoken about him many times, how when he came down to the Emirates, he dominated the midfield, really did look some player. Southampton bought him from Manchester City. Manchester City have a clause in that contract which says next season they can buy him back for 40 million. And this is why a lot of clubs are trying to get the deal done before that kicks in. Now, Arsenal, again, have put in an offer for Lavia. Now, Fabrizio Romano again reported that Arsenal are advancing in talks to sign Romeo Lavia. Negotiations are ongoing with Southampton. and the players' camp, still no official bid. Southampton hope to get a record fee for their under-21 player. Manchester United interested, but not a priority as they're after Mason Mount, but they're keeping a close eye. Fabrizio Romano says on literally every deal that someone's keeping a close eye on it. Covers you, innit? If it don't really happen and you sort of put it out there. Oh no, but someone was keeping a close eye and they came in. You know what I mean? But again, Romeo Lavia is a player that Arsenal would really, really like to sign. Belgium international, really, really top prospect. Can they get this over the line? They're busy at the moment, Arsenal. We know that, again, there was news that's broke yesterday from, again, David Ornstein, who spoke about this deal that Arsenal are trying to get done for Jurrien Timber. They put in a £30 million bid for him. That's been rejected. They're expected to go back in again to try and get that deal done for Jurrien Timber, who can play as a centre-back and also can play that inverted role where he drops from a right-back into central midfield. They're after him from Ajax. And, of course, there's the Kai Havertz one as well, which we were told they put another bid in for £65 million. Again, it's like 55 million plus add-ons, bringing it up to around about 65 million, which, again, was apparently rejected by Chelsea. So Arsenal at the moment, putting loads of bids in. All of them are getting rejected, left, right, and centre. But it does show that they are really active. I think at the moment, in the transfer window, the most active club in the Premier League, because you haven't really heard much from Liverpool. You haven't really heard much from Man City yet. You haven't really heard much from Chelsea, although they did sign Nkunku today, but that was a deal that was done from January. So Arsenal at the moment on many fronts trying to move very quickly to get some of these deals done in the transfer window. I think they know as well that a lot of these targets that they are going after at the moment are players that other clubs covet and will try and come in and get. So let's keep an eye on it. But the big one is Declan Rice. And once again, let me just remind everybody again what David Ornstein tweeted out. He said Arsenal have now made a second improved offer for West Ham for Declan Rice, £75 million plus 50 million in add-ons, which would take it up to 90 million pounds. That would be a club record proposal for the 24-year-old England midfielder. He said expected to be turned down, which it has been turned down. But Arsenal feel they're getting closer to an acceptable fee for their top target. Fabrizio Romano, once again, he said and confirmed that that deal has been rejected by West Ham, the second offer from Arsenal. He's expecting Arsenal to go back in as well. But he also then put that Manchester City could enter the race later this week. I'm sure West Ham would love to see that so it can drive the price right up. And Romano saying that you understand that Arsenal are advancing in talks to sign Romeo Lavia. Negotiations ongoing with Southampton and the players' camp. Still no official bid. So busy times in the transfer window. I'm not used to this. This is normally the last day of the transfer window when it comes to Arsenal. This is deadline day. Not 1 week into the opening of the transfer window, but it's good. It's good. I don't think people should be panicking yet. I don't think people should be saying, oh, you know, why Arsenal is going there and just getting it done straight away. Negotiations. They're obviously trying to get multiple deals done. And to get multiple deals done, I mean, you've got to spread that money over all those deals. So let's see what happens. But that's the breaking news right now. Don't forget, we will keep you updated all day here on AFTV. So keep it locked here. Get your notifications turned on so you don't miss a thing. And don't forget the Claude Cup taking place on Saturday. Get your tickets right now. They're available at the New River Sports Centre. That's where we're going to be playing it. AFTV All-Stars versus DR Sports All-Stars, raising money for the great cause, for the great man himself, the Gunnar Claude Trust. So get your tickets right now by clicking the link in the description. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.